What's going on, YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to this week's episode of P&Q, the question and answer series where you get to ask me questions or put comments to me, then I respond the following week. Now you can do this one of three ways. One, pop your comments or questions down below in that comments section. Two, you can email me directly at miniwarzone@gmail.com. I'll leave a link in the video description below for that one. That'll give you an anonymous response. Or three, if you make a video of your own, whether it's a series or a one-off or whatever, and you ask a question in it, and I happen to see it, I pick it up, I'll answer it here as well. Simple enough. There, preamble out the way, let's crack on with it. So, now believe it or not, this is the second time I've done this, because I actually recorded this. Then I went through and found out that I hadn't connected the mic, and it was all very quiet and I couldn't hear myself. Anyways, let's just kind of get on with it. Anyway, avoid any more embarrassment, shall we? I've got two emails. I've got three questions that were asked on another video. Now, before I go on, I'll just say this. I usually record these on a Friday, but due to being busy, really, I'm not able to record anything this Friday, tomorrow, so I'm going to record. I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon, in fact. And Tattoo for You, I just picked up your question on just before I came out to do it, so I've got your question. But if anybody should leave a question or email me or anything after the date, after this day, Thursday, I will still answer it, but on the following week. Does that make sense? I hope so. Good. All right. Excuse me. A little bit of trap wind in my chest. I think I drank my coffee too quick, but there you go. Anyway, first email says, "Hi Pete, love your show. Looks to me as if you're getting better at doing the whole green screen thing." Thank you. That means a lot because yeah. I myself do not currently film anything for YouTube, though I'm hoping to start this in the very near future. Could you please tell me what exactly is the hardest part of filming green screen? Could you use a blue screen instead? I liked your office backdrop. That was probably in my last chill with Pete, but I'm using it this week for P&Q because of your next part. Yeah, I liked your office backdrop. Do you work in one? None? Do you work in one? Or have you ever worked in one? And if so, what do you think of that type of environment? Sorry for all the questions, just wanted to get them all out. Keep up the great work. It certainly looks as if you are putting a lot of effort into your show. Best regards. Thank you. That means an awful lot, especially coming from someone like yourself who isn't actually into this hobby per se. Not like you know, it's a small part of what you do, isn't it? But that means a lot. That does mean a lot. Thank you. What exactly is the hardest part of filming green screen? Well, for me, I suppose it depends. I suppose every video editing software has got the option to do green screen. I would imagine it did anyway. Now, for me, the hardest part is matching the right colour, the exact shade of green to what the computer thinks it needs to take out. And there's different ways of doing that. And if you don't get it just right and the lighting just right, it causes no end of problems, no end of issues at all. So that's quite hard, but I'm getting better at that because I've found a different. What I think happens is with whatever editing software you use, you kind of develop your own method and style of editing, don't you, and how you do things. And I'm starting to find an easier way of doing that particular thing. Other than that. So now I would say, when I first started the green screen, I'll say, the hardest thing is the settings and that, because it's hard to get it right, and it can be a little tricky, but it's not a big deal really. But getting it just right is one number off of your setting can throw a little bit out here and there. So that's one hard thing. But really, generalistically speaking, the hardest thing about it now is setting it up. Setting up your stands and your rod and your backdrop. And it's a big backdrop. And clipping it on and then packing it away after if you're going to do that, unless you have the luxury of being able to leave it out all the time. And I don't really here, but I mean, if I ever move, and here's a tip: if you're thinking of doing a man cave or a studio or something to film in, what I would do is leave one wall spare blank and paint it green, the shade of green, not unsimilar to like the green baize of a snooker table, slightly darker, or whatever shade you want, you want to work with, but that's generally the best one, I think. And just paint it that colour and keep it free, and then it's there all the time. Then you can just do it. You're not going to set anything up. That'd be brilliant. Could you use blue screen instead? Yes, you could use blue screen instead, but that's more for like old film, actual film, as opposed to digital film. Digital filming, green screen works best with the digital cameras. Blue screen works better with like the old school cameras, the actual film, so I'm told. So lecture office backdrop, thank you, here we are. Yes, so do you work in one? No. Have I ever worked in one? Yes. And what do I think of that environment? I worked in one very similar to this. In fact, if he was to say to me, look, that's where you used to work, I could easily say, I could quite happily say, well, yeah, it probably was. Because it had different floors. And what do I think of that type of environment? They've all got the same feel, haven't they? Now, excuse me, I shouldn't have leant forward there. It's just the light, isn't it? But they've got a certain type of environment, haven't they? And they all seem to have these stupid working initiatives. Now, I'm trying to think of one. First office I ever worked in had this stupid initiative, and it was called the STAR Initiative, and it was a call centre, so you're helping people. It was a mobile call centre actually, and every inquiry you dealt with, you had to apply the STAR method to. Now that stood for situation, task, action, result, and you had to write it up after, if you were going for a promotion or anything like that within the company. You had to provide the evidence of what you were doing in your job using the STAR method. So, situation, customer rang in, his phone wasn't working. Task, I had to find out what was wrong. Action, I discovered it was due to like mobile stations being out of order. And result, customer was happy and he went away knowing that work was being done. That kind of thing, but in a lot more detail. And that's the better of the two I can offer you. The last place I worked at which was an office similar to this. Oh look, boss might come in any minute, and I don't care. What are you gonna do? I'm doing my P&Q. Anyway, and they had a working initiative. I'm not even gonna go there. It was so stupid. What do I think of these working initiatives in an office environment? I'm sorry if I offend anybody. I think they're a bunch of crap. They are absolute rubbish. These companies seem to think more of the initiative itself than the actual job. I prefer to help the people. That's my job. I want to help people sort problems out with their phones, or I can't really say go into, or can I? Help people get anyway, yeah, I best not say anything about the last one because but yeah, they've all got these kind of a weird environment, isn't it, where you've got to either toe the line, be part of the show, almost a yes man, and I always found that difficult because I always tend to look at things in a more logical manner. Yes, but that's not helping the customer, and surely that is not helping the business. No, but you've got to do it this way. This is the way we do things. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm going on more than I wanted to. Sorry for all the questions. I'll get them all out. Yeah, looks like you're putting a lot of effort into your show. I do put a 100% into everything I do, hopefully. And I'm hoping that that's starting to show up more and more. I want to make this channel professional looking as much as I can. Best regards, thank you very much. Moving on to the next email then, which is a quick one. It says, just a quick question, then in capital letters and bold, I think. It says, what game, I presume you're shouting this, what game are you starting now? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, by the time this episode of P&Q goes out, you should know, because I'm scheduling a video to go up tomorrow for the Friday, which is revealing what game I'm getting into next. But anyway, by now you should know it is Batman. Yeah, but not just Batman, DC miniatures and Marvel miniatures. Yeah, I know they don't make them anymore, and I've got a video out about that, but I'm still going to be getting into it. All aspects, miniatures, scenery, building a table, the rules, battle reps, the lot. Anyway, moving on. First of the video response questions. Yes, the VRQs. It comes from Frost and Fists from Mythos, from his Wolf Brother Wednesday. Love that show. I love watching it. I'll tell you why I like it. Because you're such a nice guy. You come across as such a nice, happy person. And it puts a smile on my face. I love it. I love watching it. And yeah, the world needs more people like you, my friend. And he says, and this is a great question. I love this. Absolutely love it. What is your white whale? What is something that you've always wanted to get your hands on or been hunting for, etc.? The white whale. I love that analogy. That is great. That's fantastic. I love that. Well, I've always wanted to get a flying hive tyrant, because at the moment my Tyranid, I've got a nice large Tyranid army. I wouldn't like to guess how many points, but it's a nice large army. But I don't have a flying hive tyrant, believe it or not. I have a hive tyrant, an ordinary one, but not a flyrant. I don't have one of those. I should really. I've got a harpy, but as a lower tier army, I could really do with a flying hive tyrant. I've just never got it. The reason I haven't is because there's so much other stuff to get. Do you know what I mean? But if you're talking about something which I've been hunting for, that would be the Incredible Hulk miniature from the aforementioned Marvel Miniatures game, which is now defunct. But I'd still dearly love to get my hands on the Hulk. I've got a Thing model on the way, and I look forward to unboxing that one or unpackaging that one for you all and painting it up. And I'm going to incorporate them, and I'm going to do crossover games. So I've got the rules for Marvel, and by all accounts the DC rules. I haven't read through the DC rules yet, but apparently that is kind of just like a version 2 of the Marvel rules. So I've even got a template. See out of my mess here for a Marvel game. I'm getting into it. Anyway, but yeah, the Incredible Hulk figure. I suppose I've been after that one for about maybe nearly a year. Not long after the game came out, I don't think, because I love the Hulk. I think he's brilliant. And recently, I'm trying to track down a Wolverine figure for that game, but they only seem to come in packs. It's a lot of money, but never know. Birthday's coming up. My birthday's coming up soon. I may get some money for my birthday. Something I can spend on unnecessary things, like my hobby. That's necessary for you, isn't it, guys? But thanks for that question. That was a great question. Next one. I'll try not to lean forward over the camera. Covers the light too much. From Kuja Hira, from his Hira Hobby Sunday. Now, Kuja Hira is a channel I've only recently gotten into, and I discovered it through Frost and Fists. So, thanks for that, Mythos. You're the one that kind of put me onto that. Kuja Hira His question is, what is your favourite place? Where is your favourite place to go and eat out, and what menu item is your favourite in the entire place? I like to eat out in a place quite near to me. It's called the Grecian Taverna. It's a Greek bar, and they do a lovely dish. It's my favourite. It's called beef stafado, and it is phenomenal. I love it. The meat just melts in your mouth. Comes with like a nice lovely salad and crispy potatoes and chips, and it's just to die for. It is lovely. And actually, going back to Mythos and his wolf brother Wednesday, and he's talking about all that food, and when his answer, I was like, "Oh, dude, you're making me hungry. You're making me hungry." And now I'm thinking about it, I'm hungry again. Anyways, well, that's my answer. The last video response question is for Spider666 on his Road 2 video, and this comes from Ali. She was driving, I think you were driving to your dad's, weren't you? Watching the video. And she says, where was the best aquarium you've been? Now, this is because you guys are getting into aquariums, and that's a good hobby to get into as well. I used to be into that many years ago. I used to have tropical fish, and I had not a huge tank, but a medium-sized tank, and I was really into it for many years, and it was lovely. It's lovely and relaxing. When we moved the tank, the fish, as they died off, I just never replaced them because I knew I was going to be moving within the next sort of year. And so, but when we moved and I tried refilling the tank again, it must have broken. It got a leak or something. It was just never the same. So I got rid of it, and I just never got back into it. But it was a great hobby. And but where was the best aquarium I've ever been? There's two answers for this, really. The best aquarium really I've ever been is where I live, Plymouth. I don't know if it's called the National Marine Aquarium. I don't know what it's called, but Plymouth. We've only got the one aquarium here, but it is huge and it is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Been there loads of times. The other response I would have would be an aquarium in a place called Cricket St Thomas. Now I think that's in Somerset County. And the reason I say that, it's no longer there, but they used to have like a zoo there, and part of it was this aquarium. We used to go there on school trips. I've been there a few times on school trips over the years, and I don't suppose it was the best aquarium in the world, but to me as a small child, and the fond memories I have of that period of time in my life with my friends going there, I suppose nostalgia has coloured it to make it seem better than it actually was in reality. But I think in reality, the Plymouth Aquarium. Right, that's that one. Okay, moving on to the next page. IdicBeer40k, this is some of the comments / questions from last week. It says, nicely drawn out, mate. That's because I had to draw out last week's episode due to not many questions, but there you go. So I can draw them out. Such a hard question to answer, as I love all aspects. What I can tell you is that fluff is my least favourite. I was asking what part of your hobby is your best and least favourite. Like for me, they're all favourites to me, but to prioritise them, like painting would be my ultimate, I suppose. But yeah, if you could star in any movie, which one would it be, new or old? Star Wars. Old one, new one to come out, I don't care. I'd love to be in a Star Wars movie, and I nearly was once. Not, tell a lie. Here you go, something else you don't know about me. How long ago? 8 or 9 years ago, I suppose it would have been. Getting on for 10 years ago. No, it must be 10 years ago now. Yeah, because I've been here, yeah. We'll say 10 years ago, possibly 15. They were going to make a Star Wars TV series, not a film, we're talking television series. And I was going to be in that as an extra, as a Dark Jedi. I have still got the old scripts and that up in my loft. I don't know why I'm pointing up there. My loft is not up there. My loft's back at the house. Yeah. I've still got the old script and synopsis back at the house in my loft, and is it in a? Well, it's up in the loft somewhere anyway. And I was going to be a dark Jedi. And the reason I was going to be in it, and my friend actually, who was on the like the extras acting whatever group, I don't know. He's the one that got me involved. They were looking for martial artists, and at the time I was pretty fit and well able, and they needed martial artists to go and try out to see if they could might possibly be any good for that. And obviously I was, along with my friend, and I was going to be a dark Jedi. Now the thing was, you wouldn't have seen me on screen anyway, because I would have had they were going to wear like Darth Vader replica helmets as a tribute to their hero. And I can tell you that the series, the very first episode, was going to start off in the Cloud City in Bespin, and we were going to come through the skylights or whatever on ropes and shimmy down, and we were going to attack this place. I can't really say any more than that. And as it didn't come to fruition, well, there's not a lot of point. But I have this. I have all the paperwork back at home anyway. I wouldn't have been a speaking part, I don't think, and if it was, it would have probably been voiced over. But I was just gonna do a bit of lightsaber fighting. There. Something else you didn't know about me. Pete was gonna be an actor. I was even like planning on taking, a long hiatus from my job at the time, and just going to go away to. It was going to be filmed primarily in Pinewood Studios, so I would have been in England still. So anyway, memories. Star Wars is the short answer. Right, Frost and Fists. He says, another fantastic episode, my brother. I'm loving your adoring of the question of the week. I think it's a great idea. It's cool. I wished I'd started doing it earlier. I also love that this episode was live on location in the woods. Well, now we're in an office, hopefully. Yeah, like I say, waiting for the boss to walk in. No, I don't care. I'm just sat here. What's he gonna do? Actually, it was a she. What's she gonna do? Can't do anything. Yeah. But yes, picked up your question and you obviously picked up mine, and that's cool. But yeah. Yeah, the white whale, going back to that was a great analogy. And yours was the Space Wolf data cards. And I was going to send you over mine. But luckily you kind of located some. Someone's got got you some on the way, so that's really good, and I'm pleased. I'm glad, because you need them if anyone does. My wolf brother, he needs them. He's the wolf man. Anyway, thank you, Mifos. No, this is what I wrote down, because this is tattoo for you, because I wrote it down quickly on this side because I'd already printed out the questions. See. Anyway. Tatty for you says, suit and tie is always classy, my lord. Ah, my lord. I knew I keep getting lord references, once I revealed that. But that's cool, it's all good. Suit and tie, yes, that would be the question you asked about what, if I could only wear like one outfit, what would it be? It'd be suit and tie, because it looks cool. It looks better and you feel more professional, I think. And I've often worn a suit and tie in my job. Much love, my friend, and straight back at you and your family. What's the best smell in the world? Well, I've been without. I can smell now, but I was without a sense of smell for a good 15 years, maybe longer, due to my MS. Nature of MS, so it attacks all different parts of the body, attacks the myelin sheath on the nerves and the I can't think of it now. Anyway, it affects all parts of the body. Sometimes it moves on, sometimes it stays where it is. If it moves to another part, essentially, sometimes the part that it was attacking can regenerate and heal. I wish it would have done so on my eye, but hey. But in this case, it did. And one of the first smells I smelt when I got my smell back, actually, there's two distinct smells I remember. I don't know in what order it happened first, but one is the smell of cut grass. I remember coming to that and thinking, what is that smell? And the other one was the smell of coffee, pouring up coffee in the cup. Wow, it just went, hit me. My wife quite likes this Americano coffee. It's kind of a very nutty aroma, and I was making that for her, and it just went like hit me in the. I was like, "Wow, God, what is that smell? It's the coffee." Didn't know it smelled like that. Anyway, but yeah, there you go. You also say, what song or piece of music, no matter how many times you hear it, generates an emotional response? Goosebumps or something like that. A soul-reaching piece, if you will. Well, there's a lot of those that I can think of. I suppose the one that comes to mind, though, would be a song by the Bee Gees called Life Goes On. Now, I believe it's sort of a rare track. I think it was only released in Japan, although I think you can still find it. Well, I think you can find it on YouTube. Life Goes On by the Bee Gees. And yeah, there's just something about that song. No matter how often I hear it, I don't hear it that often, but it kind of sticks. When I do hear it, it stays with me for a long time. And I don't know, it must be something in the vibrations of the song itself or something, but that elicits quite an emotional feeling within me. All good music does, I think. And yeah, that's one of them. Life Goes On by the Bee Gees. Adrian Millard says, thanks for the P&Q. You are welcome. My question is whether you have stripped the paint from a large model like a Land Raider. I'm reluctant to soak the whole thing in Dettol because I think that no matter how much I rinse it, it'll smell like a hospital. I've never stripped anything that large, but I would do, for sure I would do, because I've got quite large containers. But what I always do, because I think no matter how large or small the model, you will get that problem if you just, do it the conventional way. Now, what I like to do is once I've scrubbed all the paint off thoroughly, then rinsed it under a tap, as best I can, I immediately put it in another bath or another container of hot soapy water. I just drop it in there and I leave it for at least 3 days. At least 3 days. I'll leave it in that. Then I'll take it out. I'll wash it off again with like a soft nail brush or a soft toothbrush. And then I'll put it in a fresh bath of hot soapy water. I'll leave that for another day, maybe 2. Then I'll take it out. Then I'll put it in another bath of cold water with no soap in it. And then I'll leave that for another day. And then there's no smell. It's gone by then. And that's how I do it. I see Super Wargamer gave you a response there as well. But that's how I do mine. Right, only a couple more. Crew Angela Silicus says, nice P&Q as always. Where do you keep your minis? Do you have shelves? Or are they in boxes stored away? They're actually behind me, behind the office, or the green sheet, which is what it is. Do you know those rainbow coloured shelving units I've got? They're in them, majority. Like, mostly my infantry and smaller tanks and things like that. My bigger models are, I've got a bookshelf over there and another shelving unit over there and another bookshelf on behind me but to my left. So the bigger models are out, but all the little models are in those little pull-out shelves, and they're on wheels as well. I got them in a place called The Range. They're great, these rainbow drawers. I think they're brilliant. They're 40 quid each rack, but they're well worth it. And you just move them around. I've even got my paints in one. I'll do a video on it sometime and show you. But that's how I do it, because you can just wheel them around. They're super easy to find all your models. I'm thinking of labelling them. I've labelled my paints. So I'm thinking of labelling my models too. But yeah, that's where I keep them. And finally, thank you for your question. Last question comes from Super Wargamer, and he says, who do you think is stronger, the Tyranids or the Zerg, and why? Well, I don't play computer games or video games, so I don't know much about the Zerg other than they're from a game. So I can't really say based on that. All I can base my opinion on is the pictures I've seen. So when I got your question, I had a look at some. Judging by appearance, the Zerg look stronger. So my answer to you, sir, would be the Zerg. But that's all I've got, because like I say, I don't actually know them, like as what they're like in whatever game they're from, because I don't play computer games. But yeah, it looks like the Zerg would be stronger. Anyway, that's all the questions for this week. Keep them coming if you want me to keep answering or talking and picking up the brush, because what is it, my friends? All brushes. Exactly. I'll see you on the next video, my friends. Bye for now.